Evening all, welcome to Arc Tier 3. Sorry, it's a bit noisy in the background at the moment. Dad's watching Wi-Fi though. I'll be with him in just a moment, just sorting his headset out. Right, here we go. Right, there we go. He's watching Wi-Fi though now. Excellent. Right, let's get some details on McLaren at the moment. Who's actually first out? It's a Ferrari. Is it Sierra? No, it's Mario. So we go to Mario and see what sort of target you can lay down for the rest. Should be a good race tonight, I reckon. 16 out at the moment. We had 17 in the lobby, so I'm not sure if I think we must have lost someone when entering the qualifying. Hopefully, there should be there should have been 18 tonight, so I'm not sure. There's one missing. I'm not sure who it is. Just getting pulled up a bit, a few messages coming through. Here we go, I think. Getting there. I think there's a message on the tier 3 chat. WBY, am I in the lobby? Who kicks? I can talk for a minute. Yes, Brian, of course you can still be qualified. Get in. Brian, your admin, we've removed that rule, if you remember, about people not being allowed to qualify. Just get yourself in. Alright, thanks. Cool. Right, so Brian's on his way. That was who was kicked, because he was definitely in the lobby. So that's who was kicked. We just watched Mario do an invalidated lap. So we're going back to the McLaren. So this is Gaza, stepping in for McLaren tonight. They're a man short for their team, so it's the one seat that's actually still available in Tier 3 as a McLaren. Brian's saying he's having some technical difficulties at the moment. Hopefully he gets that sorted. Let me have a quick look, Brian, see if I can invite you, see if that helps. Although, to be honest, you're nearly always showing us offline. Yeah, showing offline. I don't get it. I was told, I ran a lobby the other night in another league, and I was getting told I was showing offline, and I'm like, I never ever change mine to showing offline, so I have no idea why it's doing it. There you are, Brian. I'll send you an invite. Hopefully if you join for an invite it might work a bit better. So apologies for that, but Gaza come across on a 36-0, 4.5 for Arc Late. Who's this then? Oh, I've lost my sound. This is Sexy. Or Brandon. I'm going to call him Brandon. I can't keep calling him Sexy. He's invalidated in a way. So let's go to the Ferrari of Sierra, who's heading for the line to do a fantastic 52.9. That's Sierra's fastest lap he's ever done around Silverstone. I'm impressed with that one. Spikey's here. Everybody's invalidating. Uncanny. Georgia's pretty close to each other on track, so I'd say let's just stick with Uncanny then. See what he can manage. Brian, you know what to do, don't you? Have you tried like switching it off and switching it back on, like the game, completely quitting out of it, and then restarting the game again? I'm doing it that way. Sometimes it works. Uncanny into what I'm going to call the stadium section. Correct race. So, round to cross the line. And it's a 130.6. Although it was invalidated again. We'll see somebody cross the line who's not invalidated in a minute, I swear. Right, Sierra, I think, is next in line. So he's not invalidated, but he's 3 seconds down, which, considering his laps of 52.9, is pretty impressive. I know he's been on holiday for most of the release of this game, but I'm sure he hasn't lost that much pace. He'll be fine. Sexy invalidated again. Spiky, is it? Crossing the line? It is indeed. He goes up to P4 on a 30.2. He's just moved to... Oh, did Sierra improve in the end? He did! He improved by 4.9 seconds. He's up to a 47.9 now. It's impressive. It's nice seeing people improve. So go in. Who is this then? This is Can. He's still on an outlap. Job. On his way round. He'll be next across the line. I've restarted my Xbox. Oh, it's working now. Excellent. I mean, you're not in yet, but it is working. You still got just over 10 minutes, Brian, so it's not so bad. So, Gaza then has gone quickest. He's gone quickest. Has he retired in the pits? Or has he lost it? I think he's retired in the pits. I think it would have dropped him down the order, wouldn't it, if he'd retired in another... I don't know. I've no idea. Stampy just starting a lap. Let's see if we can find someone else a bit further around. Sexy's on the way down the straight. Powder Cake retires from the session, having not set a time. I think that is through Maggots and Beckett's, although the card's already been removed. Oh, my word, what's going on? Right, so this is Can, who's invalidated. I'm not having much luck here, guys. I think, actually, Sierra's run out of fuel, which is why the yellow flag keeps coming around. This is Sierra, so he's heading into the pits. There was an Alfa Romeo of Ghost Rider as he spins it. Here I go, starting to switch on the people as they spin. Fantastic. Anyway, well, I'll tell you what, let's go on board and watch a fabulous lap of the Silverstone circuit on board. There we go, and all of a sudden we're now up to 18. So, oh, my controller batteries are low. Such an amateur I am, I tell you. So, I'm not sure who the other one was. Was it Hodder? Just jumped in. We're up to 18, which is what we were expecting tonight, so that's good. Right, I'm back. Here we go. Hello, John. On the chat. So, Ghost Rider heading for the line. Comes across 29.5, puts in P2 for the moment. So, good. I'm a little surprised Gaza felt so comfortable to retire that early on. In Q1 on the 29.2. Bit of a surprise at that. Stampy for Alfa Romeo, purple's the second sector. heading round then towards the stadium. Well, if he purpled the second sector, he's lost a hell of a lot of time in sector 3. Even more now, he's spun. I'm catching some spins. That's about the only thing I'm doing right, is catching some spins. TTM Geordie is on a terrible lap. So, we'll see. He's still got 100% energy, so I think he's going to go now. So let's stay with Geordie then. Thanks for tuning in, guys. You can see this kind of thing right there, which is lovely. Hello, Joe. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Hopefully now changing batteries and we've got all the initial issues out of the way, we'll be able to get on with it. But Geordie going very, very slow. Sexy. He's out there again. Tip Rebel as well. So Tip Rebel's just ahead of Sexy on track, so we'll stick with Tip and see if we can get himself through into Q2. We know we've lost Patty Cake already, so still 2 people to be eliminated. So obviously the guys at the very top of the order will all be feeling pretty safe now. That was like an awful lot of improvements to knock them down. So I still think that was pretty audacious from Gaza though to retire on the 29-2. So then opens up DRS down the back straight. We've got an Alfa Romeo round on track around this next corner. Be a bit careful, Tip. Yeah, he's back going again, that Alfa Romeo, and gets nicely off track as well. So allow Tip and the Mercedes that's running behind through. So Tip Rebel moves up to P10 on a 34.5. Behind, of course, was Sexy, who must have invalidated again. So, off you go again. Stampy was that Alfa Romeo, letting people through. Looks like he's now started a lap as well. Just looking around, we've got a few drivers. Geordie, no. Well, Geordie's improved in a way. He's gone up to a 29.9 and into P4 as Brian gets the time in on the board. So we'll go back to Stampy and Sexy doing laps. There is a Ferrari ahead on track, but one's in the pits and one's on an out lap. So, oh, they're both on out laps now because Mario just come out of the pits as I said it. But no need to move to them. So we'll stick with these guys. So, Sexy comes through sector 107.2 in sector 2. See if Alfa Romeo behind then, which would have been Stampy, is off track. Hopefully now get some Beckett's and into the pits comes Sexy. Finally would have got a time on the board. I don't know if some of these guys think they're still less than 18, less than, well, even with 16 you'd have 1 8, wouldn't you, in qualifying 1, so yeah, a bit late some of these guys as Hodder returns to track. Ghost Rider retires it then in the pits, quite happy with his Q1. Can might be on a lap. Yeah, I think he is. He's heading towards the stadium now. And he comes. I think he's on got a big improvement, is he? Well, improves just over 3.5 temps. That puts him up to P9 on a 32.5. Uncanny. Very early in the lap. Let's see if we've got anybody else. Let's go to Sierra. Just come through Cops. Heads down to Agates and Beckett's. And Sierra. First race in Tier 3 tonight. He's been on holiday at the start of the season, so he missed the first 2 races due to being on holiday in New York, I think it was. certainly in the States in a way. And let's see him back on track, and let's see if he's as fast on 22 as he was on 21. So he wouldn't have had anywhere near as much practice as others, having been away on holiday. But he crosses the line to a 29.4, goes straight to P2, and that's a pretty nice start. Brian validated. Job is 6 tenths up, that's through sector 2. So this is a pretty handy looking improvement. It could take him up as far as P4, maybe even P3. No, it couldn't, sorry. I'm making that up. I could see him putting himself a lot safer in P10 on a 31.4. Can not improve in. Mario's invalidated. Spikey has retired. I don't know if that's on track or in the pits. There's cars that have run out of fuel, so they're causing yellow flags all around the track, which is making it very difficult for me to know whether Spikey just retired it in the pits or not. Who's this? This is Brian. Obviously, you mentioned earlier it's invalidated. There's a Red Bull behind him. It looks like he's catching him, which tells me he's on a lap, which is odder. And just as I flipped to him, he's spun it. I found this the other night. I think it's me. I think I caused people to spin just as I flipped to him. Ferrari Basira, he's headed into the pits. Sexy then, back out there again. And we just started a lap. Uncanny's a bit further round. And really, right now, it's all about Sexy, Uncanny, and Hodder to get times on the board. I'd say that Stampy needs to get an improvement on there as well. Well, he's not going to have time to do that because time is counted down. So Uncanny Ant comes through the stadium section. Just be careful around here, don't need to be a hero. Crosses the line, gets the time on the see him through. Sexy. Looks like he's being very careful not to invalidate. Stampy has invalidated, but he's safe in a way. Oh no, he's not, sorry. No, Stampy is in trouble, which is very unusual. Sexy just needs to make it through this final bit. And he only needs to beat 139. And he does. Moves into P10 on a 30.5. And that is Stampy, Hodder, and Patacake out in Q1. Big surprises there. Without a doubt, that's big surprises. But it's well done to the top 15. Getting through to Q2 here at Silverstone. Changed it to Silverstone this week. I don't know if anybody watching doesn't know this, but we were scheduled to do Jeddah this week. But we opted to amend the calendar slightly and stick Silverstone in, which wasn't originally on the calendar at all, just to basically celebrate the Lionesses' victory in Europe. So congratulations to the Lionesses. And I mean, what an achievement. First major England trophy since 1966. At which point, women's football was still illegal. So, outstanding achievement, really is. Back to the racing though. Congratulations to the top 15 through to Q2, as you can see. But we do lose Stampy, Hodder and Patacake. Alright, look at Hodder through with a 2-minute 33.8. Sorry, no, not through. He's out. Well, my apologies, Hodder. Got you excited then, didn't I? Sorry, I was misreading that. Terrible lap from me there, says Brian. Well, it got you through, mate. That's all it needed to do. Spikey retired in the pits. Okay, that's good to know. Gaza, hopefully it's good enough. Well, it certainly was, mate, wasn't it? I was expecting... Yeah, I think the times will go faster throughout qualifying mine. But we'll see. Why can I not drive the car again? This happened in quali last week. I'm spinning out when going really slow. Hold there. Okay, somebody had this last night. I think they had to leave, turn off the Xbox and turn it back on again, buddy. And it sorted it. That literally last night they were going down a straight and it was just pushing them all over the place. They couldn't even drive in a straight line. If it's doing that, then you need to turn your Xbox off, back on again, and rejoin. So, our top man in Q1 is back out on track first. So, don't need tyres, let's just get the usual details back on. So, let's see what Gaza could do. Obviously, again, it's just all about getting through the Q3. Don't need any heroics. Certain guys on track, they don't need to put a record-breaking lap in for themselves to get through. The likes of Gaza, I would say Geordie probably. Late when he's on top of his game, Georges, Brian, Spikey, probably Ghost Rider as well. Sierra, alright, I've literally just named about half the field, haven't I? So they've all got to be on the top of their game to get through. So there's that. So then we are with Gaza. He's going to be first trying to start a lap, so we'll stick with him. He's got three cars, actually, if I go on board with him. Just about to see one car in the background, but there's actually 3 of them there. There they go. Really close together. I'm not sure why they're bunching up so close. Might be better to give a bit of space. As Gaza comes round then. Starts the lap. So here we go. Q2 is officially starting. Somebody crosses the line. Turn 1. Absolute bane of my life is turn 1 for invalidations. But Gaza managed to get through okay. Comes round onto the first DRS straight. So only a short straight. Here, you can see the heat haze on the floor there. Into this fast left-hander down to 5th, exactly the same as I take it. See, he actually drops a 2nd at one point through there. And heads up towards Cops, which I think is a much easier corner this year than last. And as you can see, basically drops at 7th and eases off the throttle, which is, again, exactly the same as I do it. 3 Maggots and Beckett's, which I think is easier to invalidate this year, actually. Down there. The corner itself's easier, but it's easier to invalidate for me this year. And down towards the stadium. Been a pretty neat, tidy lap. I don't think it's going to be the fastest lap that he's capable of, but it's a good lap that will probably see him into Q3. So there we have it. Gaza across the line, Spikey across the line on a 29.8 for P2. There's a Ferrari, I'm not quite going to see them. They must be invalidated, I think. No, they're ranged. Whoever that Ferrari is, they are ranged. Sierra, he's ranged on the pit straight. He did actually cross the line. It's done a 32.0. Yeah, somewhat we have noticed, isn't it, guys? You've got to be very careful if you have a spin in turning your car around and get going again. This game loves to disqualify you. So his Ferrari teammate Mario has gone across 30.9. Sexy getting close to the line. Here's Merc. Gets a lap in first time this time on a 30.3, puts in P5. Late has invalidated Rebel. Don't know if he'd invalidated or whether that was his out lap, so I think it was probably an invalidation. It starts again. Georgios. whose name I assume we say right, because I don't think he's ever told us that we don't, so this is just too polite to say anything. So, into Cops. Oh, well wide in Cops. It's not invalidated him, but he had to drop down to 6th not to run any further wide, which would have cost him quite a bit of time. Hence, it not invalidating him, because he never gained anything from it. It's down the straight. I mean, from the troubles that we saw people having, and that's a Ferrari round in a very difficult place. The Ferrari managed to just throw himself off track, but Brian has retired. He's gone P1. I didn't see him go P1. Well, hopefully he's retired in the pits, I'm not sure. Late has caught the back of a Red Bull of Tip Rail. Yeah, they're both on hot laps, guys, so you know, nobody needs to move out of the way, so they're both trying to do hot laps. It's a 33.3 for Tip Rebel. Late, I think, invalidated right on the last corner. Maybe was expecting the Red Bull to get out of the way, but the Red Bull was on a hot lap as well. Ghost Rider. Han's invalidated. He's going through Beckett's at the moment. Oh, you did, Brian. Excellent. A bit worried then. The fact that I hadn't seen you go into P1 and you must have completed a whole lap to get round to the pits. Just worried me slightly that we'd lost you. So, tells you where our mindset is though, Brian, innit? So you retire, I think, oh no, what's Brian done? No, I always retired that in the pits, because he's happy with his lap. What's he done? 4 attempts up then, Tip Rebel, coming into Maggots and Beckett's, and towards the end of Sector 2, where we'll get an idea if he's gained any more. 4 attempts still, although slightly quicker than previous. He actually just ever so... Oh, that won't help. He's going to complete the lap though, so maybe still showing as up on his graphic, which I can't see on the wheel anymore. Across the line he comes, and no, doesn't improve in the end. So that's a little venture across the grass, and the fact he was so low on energy as well means that he didn't improve. Uncanny Ants, and that's the end of Sector 2. 105.6, that seems a bit more like it. Oh, poor Brian. So uncanny. Round the final corner, across the line, 130.6 puts him in P8 at the moment. Decent. It's Ghost Rider. Just going into Cops. Nice through Cops there. He's taking a lot of speed out of there. Some Maggots and Beckett's, and he's looking pretty tidy, has to be said. Fresh from a win last week, remember, in Tier 4, in the realistic tier at Spa. So, we'll be driving with confidence, will Ghosty. And that looked pretty decent to me. A 29.1, yeah, puts in P3. I think that will be safe. Just trying to find who's doing what. What was Uncanny Ant? Who was into the pits, was he? Late's just coming out the pits. Georgios is invalidated. Can heading towards Maggots and Beckett's end. Oh, that would be an invalidation. So this is what I mean. It's so easy to invalidate around here now. It really is. Helping there. Not sure. That must be Uncanny Ant. So yeah, he didn't validate it, so no worries of Cam being in the way there. I think we're pretty much waiting for Late to start a lap here. Ghost Rider won't have gone again. Oh, his lap's looking pretty decent. No, so 2.5 seconds down. Georgios has started another lap, so we'll go with Georgios. Obviously, onus at the moment on the guys trying to get through to Q3. At the moment, Mario, the plumber, is in the danger zone. Currently sat in 10th. Healthy gap above between him and 11th, but 3 drivers not with times on the board yet. And Job is on night lap. And we saw in Q1 that Job go a lot quicker. It's about finding, I think in Q2 it's more about finding that balance. You need the pace to get through, but at the same time, you know, you push the limits and you might validate your lap as Ghost Rider retires in the pits. Georgios crosses the line of sector 2. 104.8, that seems decent. Ghost Rider was 105 through there, so he's going, well, he's heading for a 28. Georgios. Hogya, as I heard some people saying. Hogya. Well, I'm going to stick to Georgios, so just don't want to do that. Oh no, he's not in the 28, it's 29.1. That tells me that he was a bit slow in the final sector, I think, because that second sector was quite a bit faster than Ghost Rider. So, Sierra opting to come out again, I think, probably more as a safety precaution, just to make sure he gets through. Mario, I think, is heading towards the end of the lap. He's half a second down through sector 2. Late. Can't see him, where is he? Maggots and Beckett, so let's see what the time was through sector 2, but at the moment, I would just be most interested in getting a time on the board. So, Late puts a 34.6 on the board, which puts him P13 for the moment. Now, he's got time to cool down and earn some ERS back to go again. So, as Mario was round there on pit exit, you want to be careful there, Mario. Mario has been dropped down to P11, so Uncanny Ant is now a man in danger. Oh, that's Job. Spun it round. That's right before the line. Now, has he got time? Yes, he does have time to do a cooldown and go again. So, I mean, he can't drive at a snail's pace, but he has got time to do it. So, Can's on an outlap. Late. It doesn't look like he was... yeah, he's not doing a cooldown lap. He's giving it a go. Look, yeah, his fuel light is flashing, which tells me he didn't have enough fuel to be able to do a cooldown first. So, through sector 2 then. Across the line, it's 104.9, so he's on a decent lap here. And heads down towards the stadium. To the final corner. No, Salinas crosses the line, 29.4, that is P7, and I think that's through. So, good lap from Late, under pressure there. Job and Mario have both invalidated, and Mario spun it. So, but I think Job was doing the cooldown that I mentioned, so Can then. Just coming through Maggots and Beckett's, and he looks like he's invalidated a few times through there today, and that looked to me like he was trying to be a bit super cautious. And he's on 107.8 through sector 2, so it's not going to be good enough. And I don't think... Well, Job's headed into the pits. So I think that's it. Actually, the top 10 are through. Anybody out the top 10 has come in, apart from Can, but he's nowhere near getting through. So... yeah, it's 133.1. Moves him into P13 though, ahead of Tit Rebel and Job. So gains a couple of places by sticking that lap on the board. So well done there, Job, at the end. Just got Arc Late, still out on track, but comfortably through. Everybody else though finished now. So, just to confirm then, we're going to be losing Uncanny Ant, Mario, Can, Tit Rebel and Job. So we've lost both Alpines there in that session. But through goes Sarah, is fastest, Brian second, Gaza third, Georgius 4. McLaren's looking strong. Ghost Rider 5, Fuggish 6, Late 7, Spiky 8, Geordie in 9, and Sexy in the end gets through in P10. So Late will be pleasantly happy with that final run there, just to get through. Pressure was on. The start-finish line is so slippery. Yeah. Set up. It is. You've got to be careful through there. Well done, Brian. Nice lap time. Hopefully bring home good points for the team. And George doing well as well. George doing well as well. Do you mean Geordie, not George? I think you meant Geordie, didn't you? Jon Snow. Anyway, there's the proof, if you like, that those guys are through. You can see the top three mighty close, and then Georgius and Ghost Rider not far behind as well. Fuggish, I'm sure, can go quicker than what he's done there. Apparently you're using my setup, by the way. Nick, my setup. Arc Late as well. I'm sure, again, he's got more in it. It was just that lap at the end. It was a very good lap just to get himself through. But I'm sure if he can put that lap together that's on the edge, then he's got a lot more in him than that. Yeah, it's going to be a good Q3, I think. Should be a good Q3. Oh, well, if you nicked it as well, Brian. It's a good race setup, I think. It's you could maybe alter it slightly for qualifying up the front wing, but oh, okay, yeah. So if you get pole, it's on me. Excellent. So I'll be taking the credit for that. Does that mean if you get driver of the day today, then it's on me as well? I get driver of the day. I'm becoming a setup king. I've got 2 drivers on track that I know of using my setup. It wouldn't surprise me if Kaz has nicked it as well. He's always nicking my setups. Come out. There's definitely McLaren there. Aim for a layout. I think I'm looking to be honest. Yeah, let's see McLaren's right first. George was first. How do, Mario? How's my little plumber today? Where's my sound really low in my ear? That's better. Right. I'm going to leave you with Georgios doing an out wrap. I'm just going to take a moment, guys. I'll be back in a very quick second. 5 tyres back. So, and in time. Oh, who's not coming out then? Sexy. He did use a lot of tyres, so we may just have the 5th set of tyres. The extra set that you get for Q3 is the 5th set, so that might be the only set he's got for doing a hot lap on. Mind you, I just come out a set of time on an old set, to be fair, just so I had a target time on the board to use. Some of the cars here stayed a bit bunched together. I'm not sure why that is, but anyway, Georgios is off. So a track that any of us that play the game or watch the sport in real life will obviously know extremely well. Silverstone. I think it's always been a favourite amongst the gamers. Mainly I think it's so high speed, but at the same time it produces that challenge of quick, fast little niggly corners, along with corners with harder braking as well. So it's just one of those tracks, flows nicely and gives you all the sorts of challenge that a Formula 1 driver wants. And it's one of the favourites of the drivers in real life as well. So Georgios in a way, heading up towards the end of Q2, sector 2. It's 104.7 from Georgios, that's decent. It's a bit faster than we saw him do there in Q2. So heads down then to the stadium. Out of the final corner now, and we'll head for the line. And it's a 1:29.0, so I think that's the quickest lap he's done today. Gaza in the other McLaren, a 29.0 as well. Ever so slightly slower than Georgios. Brian goes fastest, 28.3. Who was that? That's Geordie. There's another car who spun it on the final corner. I think that was Fuggish. Geordie goes P2, so the Alpha Tauris 1-2. Ghost Rider sits himself in between the Tauris and the McLarens, and then 28.7 for Alfa Romeo. Late will be next across the line. It's not a good lap from Late, it's a 36.3. Sierra is invalidated. May go again here, but Fuggish was the Aston Martin that we saw spun on the final corner. He definitely won't be going again, so he'd have had no pace over the line to do so. As we see, Sierra as well has invalidated. I think that must have been through turn 1 then, so he's backed out. That's probably it. Let's just keep an eye on Late, because I think out of the ones that have set times, I don't think anybody else would be going again this lap, but Late actually can do. Let's come up towards Cops. Obviously last season had that famous moment, crash between Hamilton and Verstappen, where Hamilton basically barged him off track. It was a big crash, and then basically got a rap on the knuckles for it, and still won the race. So Late into the right-hander. Into the stadium, so Late definitely completing another lap then, and much better. So head for the line. It's going to be a 29.2, so he goes into P6. See now how the times are coming down in Q3. 29.2 is good enough for P6 at the moment, but Sexy, Sierra and Puma, Fuggish, Puma, not able to get times on the board in the first run. He just puts that little bit of added pressure for the second run. I know Sierra would love to get his season really off to a flying start today, having missed a couple of races. Everyone in there now helping me out coming out of the pits. Yeah, well, you were all on the same lap, mate, so I'm not sure it really mattered. But, in a way, who's out? Who's coming out? Just quickly go down to Art Late, but no, not better than watching a static pit lane. There is a McLaren coming out. I suspect that to be Gaza this time. Exit. No, I'm wrong. It's Georgius. So, well, just take this moment. Regards to speak about strategy for the race. I don't think there's much more than a medium to higher strategy here. There's the problem with Silverstone is that the pit lane here is so long. That the only way you're going to see another strategy than that is because of safety cars. It's if we have a minimal amount of safety cars, then it will just be medium to hard, or hard to medium, you know, whichever way round they start. But there's no scope for using softs in a one-stop. It just won't work. So yeah, we'll see in a way what they start on. I know what my preference is, but I'm not actually going to say it because I've got to drive around here myself on Saturday night, and I don't want everybody knowing my strategy. So my guy walked into the. That might be because Georgios was still being pushed in, Brian. I think you've actually got to wait until he's actually got like the computer screen down in front of him, and then it'll start reeling you in. So, Georgius then across the line. Could this be a pole position lap from the McLaren? So, little bit early on the turn into turn 3. Just seeing him catch a bit of the sausage curb, which is going to hurt his exit there. And I imagine to be slightly down. Oh, well, forget that. He's half a tenth up in the first sector. Throws it into the right-hander, which now will lead us through this right-hander and then up towards Copse. So, possibly the most important corner on the circuit. Right up there in a way with Maggots and Beckett's without a doubt. The corners where the time is gained. Through he comes, and that looked pretty well tidy, I think, from Georgios. So, yeah, he's a tenth and a half up now. He's purple sector 2. Let's see. It has seen the laps we've seen from Georgios. It has seemed to me that sector 3 seems to be where he can gain the most time. And he's a 28.7, that's a just over 2/10 improvement. Stays P4, but has consolidated that quite nicely. Let's go down Gaza. He's improving by more though. He's half a second up after sector 2 and goes fastest. It's a 28.347. It's a provisional pole for Gaza. Geordie is on his way round. He's also improving by nearly half a second. And for 3 tenths in the end. It's 28.4, so he stays P3. Ghost Rider had invalidated. Arc Late is on an outlap. Anybody else? Trying to see. Ryan. Comes, hopefully his teammate will get out of the way. Yeah, just provided him a little tow actually. And Brian is purple and a tenth and a half up in sector 1. I will be honest, I was 100% expecting a 27 for pole. We'll see if Brian can provide it here. Up to Maggots and Beckett's, and well, that looked very tidy. And he's just over a tenth up still, so this is potentially pole position if he can keep this up. There's a McLaren that's got nicely out of the way as Brian heads into the stadium. Will look pretty nice as well. I think he's going to do it. So yeah, 28.209 puts him in pole position. So for you guys yet to set times, Clay unfortunately invalidated his run. Sexy is invalidated. Puma, Fuggish is invalidated. And so Sierra is the only one that can change anything here. So here he comes. Also looked very good through Maggots and Buckets there. 104 flat, he's purple. 104 flat through sector 2. He's definitely on it. It's going to be tight, but he's definitely on for a shot here. Comes through the final corner. And it's a 28.339, puts in P2. So Brian holds on to the pole position in the end by just over a tenth of a second, but mighty, mighty close. Look at the top 4, all covered by 0.2 of a second, which, you know, is less than a blink of an eye. So it's just incredible. Ghost Rider 28.7, but he invalidated that second run. I'm sure he could have found a bit more. Georgios P6, Arclay in P7, also invalidated that second run. Spiky P8, Sexy in P9, and Fuggish. Spiky and Fuggish not able to get times on the board, unfortunately. Ryan, I think, has run out of fuel, so we're waiting for him to chug his way round to the pits. That was an AI, Brian, that's passed you because they finished. To be fair, Brian, if you are actually listening to me while you're doing this, you can retire on track, because there's nobody else is still in. So it's the only time we would allow someone to retire on track, to be quite honest, because there's no need for you to continue. But he's clearly muted me, which is a bit rude, to be honest. Now he's going to do a donut or two. Which I appreciate, bud, because it's a long night. I think they'd rather you just get round. So that's it, he retires from the session. So he didn't mute me then. Good lad. Anyway, congratulations to Brian on pole position. Silverstone. Obviously, remember, Brian is one of a few reserves on track, so... oh, Stampy left the session, that's no good. You need to be in the session, mate. So Brian P1, Sierra P2, Gaza 3, Geordie 4, Ghost Rider 5, Georgia 6, Late in 7, Spiky 8, Sexy 9, and Fuggish P10. That's the end of qualifying. We'll be going at... Where's my phone? Lost it. There it is. We'll be going at 8:33, so please be ready. Guys, I'll put that in the chat now. So, at 03, we go at 8:33. Excellent, okay. So, there's qualifying then, guys, so I think we're on for a splendid race, I really do. Stampy's back in, which is good. In a way, I'm going to disappear for a few minutes myself and take a quick break. I'll be back with you for the race. As I say, go time is 8:33. See you in a bit. Okay, hello everyone. We are off on the formation lap. High hopes for this race, really have. Looking forward to this. We're going to take a quick look at the tyres. Ooh, okay, Brian opting for the hards at the front. Sierra and Gaza have gone for mediums, but look at Geordie. He's gone for softs. Bit different. Ghost Rider, well, everybody down then is on mediums apart from Can in P13, who's opted to start on the hards. I think I just got a thing up saying Brian has joined, so that's good. Hopefully he'll be able to get in his car. Starts. So, guys, predictive strategies. Obviously the game will come up at some point telling us what it thinks. My suggestion would be that mediums okay, Stampy saying they got no control of the car, him and Hodders. You'll get control at the start, bud. There we go. Okay, so yeah, regards strategy, mediums, you expect to be seeing 10 to 11 laps on the mediums, followed by hards to the end. Softs, I didn't even bother trying, it's no real point in it. They're going to do 5-6 laps, 7 maybe. Stampy's replied to say cheers mate, that's cool. So there we have it, so mediums, lap 12 to 15 that suggests stopping to hards. After lap 10 earlier on they were over 50% for me in the practice run. I know sometimes the tyre wear's a bit higher in practice, so maybe you get a bit more than what I'd managed to, but yeah. I have to say though, even though I was on 50% after 10 laps, they still felt great. They were still working, I was still lapping about the same as my fastest lap was at that point, so there wasn't much difference at all. So, oh, how many are we going to see disqualified? There's 3 already. Fargish, I'm going to give you some chip for that. Sit Rebel, Job. Oh, that's 6. I think that's the highest I've seen. 6 disqualified for missing the grid slots. In a way, the lights are beginning to come on. I think that's probably the best I'm here to give you guys. The 5 lights are on, and we go at Silverstone. The Ferrari's gotten off to a great start here, Sierra. So's the McLaren. Look at the McLaren. That's Gaza. Absolutely flew off the line. And is up into P2. Keep an eye down a bit. There's usually something that goes on at the start of Silverstone on the turn 1. Sexy has dropped down to the back. It looks like he's round at turn 1. But should be getting going again, I hope. He has indeed. So everybody through safely in a sense. Look at the cars that are a bit further back, side by side. Georgios is falling down to 8th. Uncanny Ant though up to P7. Great start from him. Late car just in front of these two. Side by side battling between Uncanny Ant and Georgios. No contact, great fighting. They're going to continue this right the way up to Cops. Going to see a side by side through Cops on the first lap. Oh, and it's already gone wrong. Oh, I'm afraid that, yeah. Well, it'd be one for the stewards, but I'm afraid it did look to me that that may go in a direction of Uncanny Ant. But it's not for me to decide. I'm just a comms man, not the steward. So Fuggish off to an absolute lightning start, up to P4 already. He's just gotten ahead of Ghost Rider. Just gonna nip down. Look at Patty Cake and Can. This is Patty Cake and Can with the worst camera angle in the world fighting for P7. What's the start from there? Well, in fact, Stampy's the guy behind them. That was the bottom 3 on the grid that we lost in Q1. And they're now up to 7, 8, 9. It's unreal. You gotta. I think Mario has spun it on the final corner. It's going again now though. So a couple of pitters. Well, it's the ones we saw on Uncanny Ant and Georgios. It's, yeah, Georgios goes to the soft and Canny goes to the hards. So they're probably going to meet on track again. I think. But that was the old going side by side through cops. Often is dangerous, but it's didn't work out for them there. Particularly first lap, tyres not fully up to temperature, perhaps. No, I think it was Job. I'm not sure. I think that was Job, the yellow flag, but yeah, there we have it. In a way, Ghost Rider currently quite close to the back of Puma. So, oh, Brian! Brian's dropped down to P11. He's currently attacking the back of Tip Rebel. Still filtering behind. Remember, no DRS yet. And the Mercedes goes to the inside of Spikey. Yeah, good running, guys. That's good running. No contact made by all three of them. So I'm not sure what happened to Brian, but he finds himself in P11. Plenty of time for Brian to pick this back up. Ooh. Going wrong. I think Brian's having a bit of tyre temperature trouble. He's just moving the car around a bit, trying to generate a bit of heat. And, thought about a move on Tip there, but realised he wasn't close enough and backed out of it. So, providing us a good battle, good entertainment here, these boys. Yeah, of course. I've just realised. Of course, Brian got kicked on a formation lap, didn't he? So when he come back, by the time he got back in, he had ice cold tyres for the start. Wouldn't have helped. He did seem to bog down a bit. Ooh, Tip. Very close. Oh, and we've lost Hodder. Sets are free. He's lost it out the final corner, I believe, or he's retired in the pits. I'm not sure which it is. I think Hodder's retired in the pits. His car's moving. Okay, guys, that'll need explaining afterwards. Hodder, if you're listening and you had some sort of damage, you need to take a clip of it. So that's Spikey into the pits, so I assume he's had some sort of contact at some point. Mario picks up a penalty. Uncanny Ant also has a penalty at the moment. Looking for battles, that's Williams going slow there, that was Can. Hodder leaves, Tip Rebel up into P9 then. Oh, and that's the other Red Bull. Oh, that's Hodder's car. And look how lucky it is that it hasn't caused a safety car. I mean, it stopped off track, but it was right on the edge of the track. It's not as if it's miles off. In real life, I don't think that would be good enough for the stewards somehow. That would at least bring out a VSC. But sets of 2 and 3 yellows, and that is an Uncanny Ant who rejoins the track. Allows these boys through. But, keep it going, Uncanny. I'm a little bit worried that you might have some rear wing damage from the incident. Yeah, look how easy that's spinning. I think Uncanny's got rear wing damage here. It's, it would explain the multiple spins, to be fair. So, there's a Red Bull around at Maggots and Beckett's as well. That's Tip Rebel. He's dropped to P12 because of that. Stampy making a move on Sexy, who looks like he ain't got a front wing on that Mercedes. So into the pits comes Sexy, and Stampy makes his way up into P10. So there's clearly been some contacts. We haven't really seen much apart from the incident into Cox on lap 1. But there clearly has been some. I think there's been one there. That looks like a Ferrari to me. That must be Mario. Let's drop down to the back now. So, looking down, trying to find us a battle. We've got Spikey close to the back of Georgius. But we've also got the top 3 really, I think are probably our best bet right now. So Sierra's leading the way still. That good start. Gaza flew off the start line, didn't he? And he's up into P2 and trying to keep on the back of Sierra at the moment. Geordie up to P3, but on the softs, how many laps can he actually do? This is lap 5 for him on the softs. As I said, I think we'll be seeing medium tyre guys anytime between lap 10 and 12. I know the game says a bit later, but I think 10 to 12 is more likely. Sierra sets the fastest lap of the race and gets Gaza just outside the 1 second to him. Gaza getting a horrendous camera angle on Sierra's car there. So at the moment, Geordie able to keep pace on the softs, the guys that are on mediums. So there'll be people who race tier 1 and tier 2 watching this thinking, what is he? How long can he keep pace on the softs? Because they do tend to wear very quick in practice. So Brian just made his way back into P7. 6 and 2 yellow. That's Brian. That's Patikate. So they're still following very close. I'm not really sure what that yellow flag was, if I'm honest. It might have been a back marker getting out of the way. I think it might have been Mario getting out of the way. It might have been Uncanny round again, actually. Schweigisch sets the fastest lap of the race. No, he doesn't. That was a penalty. My apologies. Geordie. It's not looking like he's about to fall off the back of the front 2, is he? And Gaza just for a moment there got it back to him in 1 second, but it's falling back out again. As we get 2 and 3 yellows. And that one, I think, is Stampy. It is indeed. Get some Beckett's. He's got a Alpine coming round. He takes P10, that's Job. He does recover in front of the Red Bull. So, just looking around, Brian's recovered up to P7. He's got a big gap now of 10 seconds to make up to Art late. But if he was able to get that down, he'd be fighting him in amongst front runners then. To say that Thuggish and Late are battling. Probably our closest, well, yeah, definitely our closest battle at the moment. We'll stick with these two. Let's go to Thuggish so it's better. So both on medium tyres, both 6 laps old. Thuggish has a penalty. I forgot to write penalties down, didn't I? Oh well. Just have to do it the old school way. Still lots of you out there viewing, so thanks very much, guys, to everybody that's tuned in. Decent race so far, as Geordie then does pit. He's done 6, well, he's completed 7 laps really on the softs, so they've gone 7 laps. What does he move to is the question. So is he looking at doing a 2-stop? You can't 2-stop. Yeah, on go to hards. I'm not surprised. So it's going to be a long stint on hards. I wonder if a fresh set of hards will have any actual pace advantage at the moment over 7-lap-old mediums. So look how long he's still coming out the pits. Look, it's such a long pit stop. Finally going to exit. The Mario is round again at the final corner this time. He's recovered that. His tyre is going to be lit right up as well. I think there was a battle going on somewhere. So this is Stampede, Tit Rebel and Spiky. It's Tit Rebel leaves the track. Stampede. Come on, Cody's give me a camera angle. So, that's the back marker that's stuck in between them. So that's Uncanny Ant that's stuck in between them. entirely sure what Mechaniac's doing here. I suppose he's got fresher hard tyres on, so he's looking at trying to unlap himself, I guess. Just looking on board with him. He's definitely there. This isn't an AI that's doing this, so I guess trying to unlap himself. It's not causing any issues doing it, is he? So he's just following behind the Alfa Romeo, basically, at the moment. Let's get to a battle again then. So Late has gotten ahead of Fuggish during all that. Brian's taken 2 seconds out of these guys since we last looked, so it's pretty quick he's done that. He's definitely after them as Sexy gets out of the way and allows the front boys through safely. Let me just effectively change positions here, Arclay. Swap positions now. Fuggish is following behind. Doesn't really need to push. I mean, he is using the RS there. He doesn't really need to do that. He can use the DRS just to stay with him, and effectively could look to overcut him on the pit stops. So, still a bit longer. I don't know if the overcut would be as effective here as it would be around shorter tracks. The undercut might be a better option. I'm not sure. That's something you can't really practice. So, these boys providing us a good battle. Nonetheless, I'm just looking for Geordie. He's down in P8, having pitted to hards. Over 10 seconds behind Patacake. That's what I mean by it's a seriously long pit stop there. It really is. Look how close they are running behind each other. Well, Fuggish is running behind Arclay. That's 2 guys that completely trust one another. Both admins in Arc, of course. And, Brian has left the session! No! How do I do this? Quick. Brian. I can literally hear our little Dutch friend swearing all the way from Holland to England. Sets of 1 yellow. I think that's Uncanny Ants. Look how close, sorry, let's get rid of that. Mighty close running. Really is trust between these two, which is great to see. In fact, I think Brian's now swearing in Dutch on the stream. Klotzooi. You could tell me later if that means, well, if I said that right, basically. Klotzooi. So Uncanny picks up a penalty. So hopefully Brian can get in quickly. He's not lost too much time so far. Just 9 seconds behind Fuggish and that, and obviously he'd made a lot of time up, so he was closer than this, but at least he's not falling back any places or anything. He can just get on with it now. Hopefully it won't happen again. He did mention to me, because I was asking who was going to run the lobby, and Brian did mention he was having a few with connection and that, so I guess it won't be completely unexpected for him, really. The Mert that's running behind these two, by the way, is a lap down. Fuggish runs very wide. Certainly I would have thought picked up a warning for that one. So it's all about the front runners and when they're going to pit. Now Ghost Rider has pitted. He's in. So he's completed 11 laps on his mediums. I said that was about the right range before switching to the hards. The only problem for Ghost Rider is how powerful is the overcut. Where is Geordie? He's heading into the final corner now. And, well, Geordie's going to get him. Surely Geordie will get this. He's heading into turn 1. So Geordie has undercut Ghost Rider. He was running ahead of Ghost Rider, wasn't he? He was running in P3. But I think when you take into account Ghost Rider's got to warm his tyres up, that's worked pretty well, I think, for Ghost Rider, for Geordie. The interval, let's just go to leader. So Geordie is 35 seconds behind. I'm telling you, that's going to be close, I reckon. The problem for Ciro and Gaza here is Ciro won't want to pit before Gaza and leave himself open to an overcut. So he kind of has to stay out. At the same time, neither of them... Well, Ciro does pit, so Gaza's going to go for the overcut. The problem is they need to react to Ghost Rider. They can't just keep going and not react to him. So in comes Art Lake and Fuggish. Oh, Fuggish. Oh, you had to go for an overcut there, Fuggish, when you saw him coming in. Looks like they'll continue their battle then, but let's go to Gaza. See this DRS, energy come on, ERS now. Ciro's just on the exit of the pits now. He's coming out in P3 with a nice gap ahead of him. Next car at the road is Brian, who's about 7 seconds ahead of him. So Ciro has a nice, clean, open road to try and undercut here. I didn't see what the gap was. I think it was about 1.8 seconds, wasn't it, when Ciro come in? Around that. So just watching Gaza. I'm surprised he's not expending a bit more energy. I know he's not really got any, but be using what he could. So, unless he's intending on staying out. Surely, yeah, in he comes. So this will actually mean that Brian will lead the race. Let's have a look then. Where is Ciro? He's coming through Maggots and Beckett's. He's onto the straight. It's going to be close, guys. It really is. Gaza is being serviced right now. Nice service there for Gaza. Looks pleased with that one. Ciro heading into the stadium. It's going to be close. It really is. Gaza hits the speed line. Ciro comes around. He's going to take the lead. Look where Gaza is. He's right on the exit. Gaza has gained time. He's within a second and has a lap fresher tyres. Obviously, he's got to warm the tyres up. The overcut's not exactly worked how he would have liked, but it's not bad either. He's come out. Big gap to Ghost Rider, which would have been the main point of that stop. Brian then now leads the race, but obviously started on those hard tyres, so has to pit. Looking down the order, I think he's looking at dropping in probably behind Fuggish, I would imagine, when he pits, as it stands right now, as Fuggish gets ahead of late. That's on the smaller straight. Sector 1. It's a very, very good race so far. Thoroughly enjoying this. It's had to cake into the pits, and his pits are soft tyres. I do get the feeling that some people are still refusing. I mean, look at the whole of the rest of the field is on hard tyres. I do get the feeling that some people are still refusing to use hard tyres in this game because they were difficult in 21, but I do think they're a lot easier to use in 22. They're probably the most important tyre in the game. Buggish and Late side by side again, coming into the stadium, no contact. It's giving me a horrendous view again. Oh, it just runs a bit wide on exit the final corner. These two are looking like they're going to be at this all the way through, providing us with some absolutely supreme action. Georgios, by the way, finds himself down now in P14, right on the back of Sexy, who's just picked up a penalty. As Late goes to the inside. Again, no contact made. The rear wheels were close, but didn't hit. And Fuggish will hold on to the position once more. I just hope they don't end up going side by side through cops. Oh, they could do. Fuggish folding behind it. Yeah. Oh, my words. What a battle. Absolutely brilliant from the pair of them. I mean, we've not watched them 100% of the time when they've been battling. We've watched a lot of it. And we've not seen any contacts on the stream. As Fuggish moves late to the outside. Underlap Brian's left the session again. His AI pit him. Damn it. There's Brian. There he is. Yes, I do this for anyone I see leave the session. I always send them an invite to get them back in as quick as possible. Obviously, I can't see everyone. I do miss some, but just try and get them in if I can. Yeah, there's Brian back again. Again, he's not really lost much in terms of time, so pretty good. And I'm loving watching these two. I'm just going to nip that. I don't want to stick on the same people the whole race, so let's nip. Oh, and just as I move to Patacake, he spins it. I was going to say he's just caught onto the back of Stampy. Let's go to Georgios then on the back of Sexy. I believe that car in front of the Mercedes is Brian, who is into the pits. So he's definitely not going to retain the lead, guys. The gap's too small, so we are looking down towards Arclate, really. I'm just positive we get out ahead of Can. I mentioned Can doing a great job at the moment in P8. Brian's gone to soft tyres. It's a bit of a shock. So Ghost Rider is passing him now. Fuggish. Again, it's going to be close. He's hit the exit. It's Fuggish. Brian's got them. He's overcut them and jumped the pair. Well, that is absolutely unbelievable from Brian, considering he's had connection issues as well. He was 8 seconds behind these guys. Credit where credit is due. That is absolutely outstanding work from Brian. And he is going to be rapid for a good 5 laps now. Possibly longer. I think he might be hoping that the lower fuel load later in the race. That was a back marker getting nicely out of the way. I think that was Patacake. So well done, Patacake, on that one. Yeah, I think Brian hoping maybe the softs will be alright with the lower fuel load. Should help with tyre wear. So, I think it's maybe a bit ambitious. Who is this? This is Can and Spiky then. So Can should be, well, I don't know if Spiky can make it to the end on the hards when he pitted for so early on. Oh, Sexy's out. Lost Sexy. That's going to bring out a safety car. Surely that'll be a full safety car. He's right on the exit of the final corner. And the leaders are gonna be... Yeah, it is a full safety car. I can see the safety car on the track map. Well, Spikey's in. Where's Can? Oh, Can went round. Well, I suppose that's okay. You can do another lap. Come in the next lap, that would be fine. But it's gonna really play into his hands. Fair play, Can. Stuck it out. Stayed out there. Waited for it, and it's happened. Rolled the dice, so fair play to you, Can. Everybody pitting pretty much. Just seeing Uncanny there just confirms that he's definitely still with us. So far for me, I think this is Tier 3's race of the season so far. But so if it continues like that, obviously the leaders are going to be a bit miffed at the safety car at this point, but you know, there isn't a lot that can be done, so it happens. Zero stays out. There's people pitting that shouldn't be pitting here. So Stampy was in there. I don't know why he's pitted. He's now a lap down because he pitted. If he'd have stayed out, he could have driven past the safety car and stayed on the lead lap. But he's now a lap down. Exactly what Georgios has done. Look, so Georgios stayed out. He's past the safety car. Sierra now stops at that safety car. So Georgios remains on the lead lap. So the top 11 are on the lead lap. 12 down aren't, basically. I think Stampy watches this one back. He might kick himself a little bit. Maybe just didn't realise at the time. It's not easy to know where the leader is when you're running in 12th place, because it's not as if you can see him on your standings. Like, it only tells you the next car's ahead. There's 2 ahead, it tells you, doesn't it? So well, Brian running P4, he's surely going to pit. Brian, well, he's going to catch the back of the safety car. Now his teammate is the car behind him, and he's behind by 30 seconds, but Brian is being slowed down by the safety car now. Brian could pit and still get ahead. He could do with Geordie, keep slowing this pack down. I don't know if they go in a chat together, the 2 of them, but you actually could do that. If Geordie slowed the rest of the pack down so that Brian can pit onto a fresh set of softs. Here he goes. Here he goes. I thought it was coming. Brian smells victory. Brian smells victory here. I think him and Geordie are chatting to each other. And even if Geordie and Fuggish did go ahead, Arclate's all the way back here, look, so he's not going to go ahead. I don't know why Arclate fell off back like that. Well, Fuggish and Arclate have both pitted. There's Brian, he's being serviced now. So, I mean, it's going to be close, I'd imagine. I think Fuggish is on the back of Geordie, giving it a bit of come on, let's go. They have gotten ahead of Brian, but Arclate won't. So, the car directly ahead of Brian is Fuggish, who's now in an AlphaTauri sandwich. AlphaTauri are in a great place here. They've got Geordie in P4 on fresh mediums. They've got Brian in P6 on fresh softs. The top 3 have stayed on their hard tyres. I'm a little amazed that either Gaza or Ghost Rider didn't pit after seeing Sierra go through. Just back off from him a little bit, see if he goes through, and then jump into the pits. But they didn't. Now, it could still be a little while before the safety car comes in. So we might end up not going again until lap 22 here, I think. Because there's big gaps going on. Georgios pits. So that's what I mentioned about Stampy. Look, so Stampy's stuck behind the safety car. So Stampy had done what Georgios done. and just stayed out, he'd be catching up to the back of the safety car himself now. His tip is in 15th, I think well, I'm not sure, he might be 1 lap down, I'm not sure if he's 1 or 2 laps down actually, but never mind, doesn't matter. But yeah, there are certainly some back markers in amongst the front runners who have caught up to the safety car. The safety car, I don't think, will necessarily wait for back markers to catch up. So Georgios is the last one to catch up. Now, he needs to be a bit careful, he's still got quite a way to go. I'm not 100% sure whether the safety car will just come in at the end of this lap or whether it can go another lap after this. So I think he needs to be a little bit careful. Obviously he doesn't want to destroy the tyres by going around too fast, but my connection ruined me, says Brian. I don't think it did, mate. I don't think it did. I think you're still in the running. I mean, regardless, you've got 2 guys ahead of you. Okay, one of them's your teammate. You've got 2 guys ahead of you on penalties. But assuming, I mean, Fuggish is your battle. If you get past Fuggish, then presumably Geordie would let you through. So as it stands, remember, Sira is a Tier 3 driver, so he's generally leading this race for drivers and constructors. Gazza is covering, so he'd only get points for constructors. Ghost Rider is a Tier 3 driver, so he's getting proper points. Same for Geordie and Fuggish, and but Brian is a cover as well. So, as well, Georgios is going to get. Is that Uncanny Ants? No, Uncanny Ants in the field. So that is actually Job. He's caught up to Job. They're not too far off actually, round at Maggots. So they should be caught up. I think we should. Yeah, there's the confirmation from race control. Safety car is in this lap. So you're good on. We'll get going lap 22 then, as I suggested. So that means that there are 5 laps remaining, and it's all really going to be about, can the 3 hard tyre drivers stay ahead of the softer compound drivers, really. So Sira will lead us away. Trying to see, has he gone? He has. He's really caught Gazza out, who has a little bit of a moment at the final corner. Ghost Rider's trying to take advantage, but it looks like the straight line speed of Gazza defends it in the end. Well, this is not good news for the top 3. Oh, Ghost Rider, what's happened to Ghost Rider? Sorry, I didn't see that. I was looking away, and something's happened to Ghost Rider there, and he's dropped to 7th. Well, bad news for Gazza and Sira here. Fuggish is into P3 on fresh softs. Brian's into P4 on fresh softs. His teammates let him through. So this is going to be tough, as into the pits comes Uncanny Ant, who's going to stick a set of softs on. Maybe have a little go for a fastest lap. Remember, he's outside the top 10, so you don't have to. Well, basically what I'm trying to say is, in ARC we do a fastest lap inside the top 10 and a fastest lap outside the top 10. So that's the one he's going for. As Fuggish already right on the back of Gazza. He's going to absolutely hang Gazza here. Obviously, Sira will be saying, come on Gazza, you hold him back, Gazza, you hold him back. Because he knows that Fuggish and Brian are quick and are going to be straight after him. But look at the grip that Fuggish has got. Gazza leaves plenty of room, keeps his car to the outside, but the extra grip that Gazza's got on those softs just allows him to stick to the tarmac. As No, Brian wasn't. I thought Brian was going to be able to get a move into turn 3, but he wasn't alongside enough. So, Fuggish, look at his gap coming down to Sierra. What's happened to Sierra? Sierra's spun. Oh, Sierra. Unlucky, Sierra. But he's back going again. He's dropped to the 8 now. So a couple of guys, well, 3 guys ahead with penalties that could be targets. So he'll be annoyed with himself on that because he's obviously done that out on his own. But never mind. These things do happen. Well, that means then Fuggish leads the race. Brian P2, but Brian is penalty free. Fuggish isn't. Gaza P3, probably Mr. Consistent of ARC. Gaza, Jordy, AlphaTauri looking fantastic, aren't they? And yeah, I don't know if Sierra maybe had a bit of an issue with. There seems to be something going on between Mario and Rebel then, or Rebel at least has spun it out of cops. So. See, there's kind of been a race of their own from 11th down, is it? Yeah, I think so. 12th down, maybe. I'm not sure. I think Job's still on the lead lap in 12th, in 11th. Yeah, he is. So, yeah, Job's on the lead lap in 11th. It's Mario from 12th downwards that are a lap down. I think Uncanny Ant's a couple of laps down. So, there we have it. Anyway, let's go to Gaza, who has managed to stay on the back of Brian. I'm not able to shake him. Now, we've mentioned that these softs go very quickly. And this is a... Oh, Brian has just joined. I didn't know he'd left. I didn't see him leave this time. Sorry, Brian. I didn't see him. I didn't see you leave. Well, the good news is you are still ahead of Gaza, just about, and you're still within the penalty time of Fuggish. What a frustrating race this would have been for Brian, out and in and out and in. But as I said, he did say to me in the admin chat earlier on that he was having some connection issues, but it's going to allow, unfortunately, Gaza to make a move. Well, not unfortunately, Gaza's obviously deserving it. But obviously, from Brian's point of view, that is a problem because Gaza is penalty free. As I said, these softs do not last long, so genuinely might not have that much of an advantage over Gaza right now on those tyres. In fact, Jordy is probably the one with the best tyres right now on 6-lap old mediums. Oh, Sirius picked up a penalty. Brian's picked up a penalty. So that will change things. Gaza goes favourite. We'll have, in fact, we are on lap 25 now, so let's take a look. Oh my word, I didn't know Fuggish had 17 seconds of penalties. That is going to ruin this result for him. Mind you, from what he said to me earlier on, I think he'd just be happy to get to the end of Silverstone. It's not been a good track to him over the years. Gaza remains penalty free. Brian and Jordy have 3 seconds each. Late 6 seconds, which will drop him behind Ghost Rider. And Sierra's going to be close to nicking it as well off of him as Sierra's gotten into P7. Sierra has 3 seconds as well. Spikey and Georgios penalty free. Then Can and Job. Can's had a fantastic race, by the way, so you've got to give a shout out to people that have done well further down the field as well. And Can has done absolutely brilliantly today, so shout out to you, Can. Job. Well, everybody else has got penalties further down, so it's all here. I really didn't notice Foch's name coming up so much that he had 17 seconds, I must admit. I'm trying to work out where that's going to drop him down to. It's going to be some way. In fact, I think it could drop him down as far as 9th. We'll see. They come up to Cops one last time then. Really, we're watching who was going to be the race winner in the end as Patakate picks up a penalty. Another one. So Alfa Romeo round. Particularly want to move to that. It's definitely not Ghost Rider, so it must be Stampede. Let's hope he just continues it on. So not a good day for Stampede. He's usually up in the top 10 comfortably. Oh, who was that? It was Brian. On the final lap, and Fuggish crosses the line, wins on track, but Gaza will be the winner. Geordie promoted to P2 late. Oh, was on the podium for a second there, but Ghost Riders nicked it with penalties. Sierra takes P4 in the end. Spiky P5, late knocks down to 6th. Georgios 7th. Fuggish then was knocked down to 8th. Can takes a... Well done, Can. Brian, unfortunately, P10. Drove into the pits at the end. Job, P11. Mario, 12. Patacake, P13. Tit Rebels, 14. Stampy, 15. And Uncanny Ant will be 16. Watch Tit Rebel. Obviously massively disappointing for Brian at the end there with a spin, but it's a difficult race for him. Well, he did very well, but look, not on the side there, but Gaza, you've got to give it to him. He's just done what he does, stays penalty free, does his consistent lap times throughout the race, and just picks up the win in the end. Geordie with a fantastic result in P2, so well done to Geordie. Ghost Rider, after the win in Spa and a realistic tier last Thursday, picks up a podium in Tier 3, so he's certainly a man in form at the moment, as Ghosty. Syrah, I think in the end, will be happy that he's ended up being promoted to P4, but obviously with the fact that he was leading when he spun, and was penalty free at the time, he's not going to be over the moon in the end. But first race back, first race on 22, I would imagine, unless he did one the weekend. But a couple of things in chat. Ik had dit Kutzpo Godzamzeg, says Brian. Oh, and before that he said Ongaloo Flick. What actually happened to Brian? He's had some connection issues throughout, but then just spun it on the last lap. About what, 4 or 5 corners from the end. So then spoke some Dutch. That although I don't know what it says. I think we've all got an idea. English, says John. I don't think you need it in English. That was hard work, says Mario. It certainly was. Oh no, sir, it's his controller stops working. Not even his own error. Oh dear. What, is in a batteries ran out, Sierra, or just turned itself off, basically? Because I know that happens sometimes. But, yeah, they celebrate on the podium in a way formation of the results. I think CRP goes to the ones that we can see on screen that are penalty free. May need to just do a quick check through just to make sure that those drivers didn't serve any penalties in the race. Let's just go quickly to race director and incidents, and we'll do a scroll down. Oh, this looks quite a lot. Most of it exceeding track limits. In fact, almost all of it exceeding track limits. I'm not quite going to get to the bottom, I don't think. Not quite, but there we have it. Might be 1 or 2 clips, I think, for the stewards, but all in all, I have to say I think that was an absolutely brilliant race. The one safety car from the spinner, I think it was Brandon, wasn't it? Span it, unfortunately, at the final corner and got damage, which ended his race. So he was right in the middle of the track, so the safety car had to come out. But other than that, I think it was a very good race. Oh, right. Sarah. That's odd. It said disconnected, then came back. It's like AI racing along with me. Strange. Okay, well, yeah, just to summarise then, I think that was a brilliant race. There was a lap 1 incident into Cops. It may be looked at by stewards, but other than that, all in all, some of the battling was outstanding. I have to say, a shout out to Fuggish and Arclay on their battle. That was absolutely outstanding. Really was one of the best battles I've seen, to be quite honest. Completely clean, side by side, swap positioned. I don't know how many times, but yeah, absolutely brilliant. As it was throughout the field, there didn't. Well, all I can say is on stream we didn't see much contact there. I think it was a very clean race all in all. In a way, yeah. So, in a way, guys, we are back tomorrow night for the realistic tier here at Silverstone. What it was a great race every week. So please just tune in. You'll see some great racing. It's a bit of a spectacle. We only started it last season in ARC, and it's been an absolute triumph. To be quite honest, it really has. So by all means, please tune in tomorrow night for that one. That should be a really good race. Other than that, obviously we got our usual Saturday night extravaganza of Tier 2 at 5:45, followed by Tier 1 at 8 p.m. So please tune in for that. But other than that, guys, as always, a massive thank you that have tuned in throughout the race. It's just the viewers have been great throughout, so thank you very much for everybody that's tuned in live. Thank you to everybody that watches it back as well. It's very much appreciated. Obviously, it's been on my stream tonight on Arc Kelly because I couldn't get into the Arc Twitch in time for the race. So, yeah, thanks to everybody that's tuned in. I will get it uploaded to the relevant places for Arc as well. So you'll be able to view it on there. But yeah, thanks very much, everyone. We'll, as I say, Arc. Just to confirm that the races I mentioned tomorrow night and Saturday will be on the Arc stream, not mine. For myself personally, I will be back on Friday for PRF1 at 8:30. So I will see you then, guys. Thank you very much, and good night to all. Enjoy the rest of your evenings.